Now then, welcome back to Utopia³ the Resurrection. We're here in the church. Night has fallen, but work must begin. Done lots of things around the village. Show you that at another episode. This episode is sort of extending from the ore processing we've been doing over in the village. Now we've got to finish that off with the processing of the Gregtech Thaumcraft ores. And there is a little way to do this that I have spotted thanks to Akko, and now it's taken me on a trip of a lifetime to get through all the things. I pointed out that this shard recrystallization was a thing for Gregtech. Basically quadrupling your Thaumcraft goodies by putting them through a series of processes to make them these crystal powder, adding some Victrous and turning them into the shards. So basically every Thaumcraft ore that's Gregtech could either be 1 shard or 4 shards. So the process for making the little powdery stuff, this amber dust and the crystal powder, that's all been taken care of in a previous episode over there. Now we're taking that product and we're going to do something in here. So first, let me just show you what I've done since the last time you looked around this Thaumcraft workshop. We're on about stage 3, I would say, in Thaumcraft at the minute. Stage 1 was the basics of getting your thermometer and just getting the deconstruction tables and making tables and your first wooden wand. Well, iron-capped wooden wand. So that's kind of like stage 1 is the wooden wand era, and that only carries 25 viz of any type. So you're limited to what you can do, even if you do research like a madman. We've got all these books in here now. We've got 5 different people adding to the shared knowledge, which is awesome. And so a lot of this was already researched for me. I've got the deconstruction table set up, like you know, for quickly grabbing aspects. We've got villagers like this guy who sell you knowledge fragments. And knowledge fragments, I think I've got some in here, yeah. I'll eat one now. A knowledge fragment, you can right-click and it'll give you a load of research points. So I gained quite a few research points of the primary aspects, I think, off just eating one of those. So that's a pretty good way of getting research as well. And then doing the research. So that's like stage 1. Even though I've placed it down there in what seems to be stage 2. I was thinking this was going to be stage... Yeah, I needed the space for this. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Stage 1, stage 2, whatever. Stage 2 then would be to upgrade your thermometer to goggles of revealing. Go round and get loads and loads of aura nodes selected and get yourself a Greatwood wand with gold bands if you prefer. Greatwood wand holds 50 capacity, so then you're in the Greatwood era. The Greatwood era allows you to build more things and do things like this automation over here, the Alchemical construct, which I showed you the last time I was in here, how to make and things. This is a 30 viz, I believe, a 30 viz cost. Let me have a quick check over here. Here we go. Yeah, it costs 30s. So the 25 wand wouldn't allow you to do this. So this is the Greatwood era. You've got to at least have the 50 viz in your wand in order to be able to make this alchemical construct. And the alchemical construct itself is made like this. And some of these things are nice and easy to make. Essentia tubes and stuff, nice and easy. Little amounts. You can do those with your little wand. The Essentia tubes themselves, quite easy. 5s again. And you make 8 a time. So I've been making a few bits and pieces like that. And that's all done in the crafting station, the arcane work table. Nice and easy. The infusion altar, that's fairly soon after as well in the artificing tab. You can research your way down here quite quickly. You get the enchanted fabric, down into Boots of the Traveller, down into infusion. or something like that. And then you get the infusion available. You can make these arcane stone blocks quite easily. You can make these with a 40. So that means it's still within the Great Wood era. You can do it with a wand of 50 charge. And those are the pedestals, nice and easy as well. The thing about all of this stage is going out regularly to go and find nodes in the world. So as I've been doing here, I've been marking up nodes all over the place. So I've got node Terra Ordo Aqua, node Air Per, Precatatio, node Air, node Aqua, Gelatin, and Terra, and marking them all up so that I can have a little run around to recharge my wands. That stage is just for now. We can move nodes in the next stage when we've got a Silverwood wand. Moving and all that sort of stuff is a later date, though. This is node in a jar. Node in a jar requires 70 of each aspect to put a node in a jar and move it around with you, which is pretty cool. But of course, we're into the the Great Wood Wand core stage, which is this little research tree here, and that only allows 50 of each type. Whereas the next stage that we're going to go into is the Silverwood Wand. The Silverwood Wand gives you 100 of each, which allows you then to move the nodes around because they cost 70 of each. But this requires arcane fusion, so you've got to have the fusion altar in order to make the Silverwood rod. It doesn't really require this lot, but it does require you to have an infusion altar, which is this beauty in the middle here. The book tells you all your recipes and everything like that. It's really, really cool how everything is taught to you through the book in stages as you research them. But you do get sort of limited by your wand capacity. So researching your wand size is a good thing. And then getting to this stage. To get to this stage, I've made this alchemical furnace, which is basically breaking things down. So you put charcoal in the bottom and an item here, and it'll break it down into essences, whatever it contains. Now, you may remember that we've got essences of various things in the world. There goes Akko. See you later, Akko. I think I scanned a few of these things. I didn't actually scan half of these things. Wow, okay. The thermometer will show you what you've got, yeah? So, chiseled bricks, for instance, 1 Ordo, 1 Terra. If I put a chiseled brick in here, I would receive the essence of 1 Ordo and 1 Terra, and then I could use the piping to put them into jars. I believe the only way to put things into jars is from the top, or by using these little vials that we've got. Little glass vials that we've got there, yeah? To extract and place into the relevant places. So this is like the next stage. These alembics break items down and store. Well, this alchemical furnace breaks the items down, and then the alembics store the essence. So in the case of this stone, we would have Ordo and Terra. Ordo would go in one, Terra would go in the other, and then we would pipe it out into jars to store it. Yeah. And over this side, the alchemical processes that we had in the Crucible before, where we were dropping items in and items were popping back out, and we were having excess amounts of certain essences in things. At this stage, you can make the alchemical constructs, and they will do it automatically for you. So, combining these together is a thing. So, for instance, the last thing I did was do some of the amber stuff with 4 crystal in order to make the amber that I need for making the things. So the amber I need to make the things. That makes total sense, doesn't it? I was making some of these mnemonic matrices, and they required amber. So I needed to make a load of the amber ore into amber, so I did it this way. And I've got a jar of crystal there, which is just basically smelting up a load of glass. Now, the actual process of getting the glass, putting the glass in there, making a jar full of this vitrus, the crystal, making a jar of that takes a little while. Then putting it over here, no problem. Getting the ores, processing the ores down to the stage where they are that little little powder that we've already seen. Look, the amber dust, for amber in particular, is time consuming. And then placing the amber dust into the construct and doing this then doesn't take too long. Doesn't take too long. But it spits them out onto the floor from the front here. Spits them out. But it does all the mixing and stuff for you. So it's very, very nice and handy to have as a system for automation. And then this guy here will just be a hungry chest and eat the stuff up. Hungry chest is in the Golemancy section. And a hungry chest is very easy to make. Very cheap. Very easy. But what a hungry chest will do is it will basically nab anything that gets thrown at it. Or thrown onto it, should I say. Let's throw it there. There we go. If something's going to land on that block, the hungry chest will nab it. Right? So we got that. That's where we're up to at the moment. But today's episode is all about taking all of that we've just covered to this stage before getting actually into the infusing of a silverwood wand, which is the beginning of the next stage. I want to automate all of the ore processing stuff because I don't really want to be here doing it all by hand. So I've got a little project table over here with everything I think I need for the design that I'm thinking up. We're going to make glass infinitely. So we're going to have an aqueous accumulator, getting water, putting it into an igneous extruder with a bucket of lava to make cobblestone. We're going to then put the cobblestone into pulverizers to pulverize the cobblestone into sand. What was that? Something just hit me? What? Just took damage. From what? What hit me? Strange warpy things. I was talking. Okay. Was that? No. I didn't burn myself on a candle, did I? That was silly. No, it doesn't happen. Okay, so then from the two pulverizers, because the igneous extruder runs at a fairly swift rate, two pulverizers then will take it out and put it into sand. Then two furnaces will... Oh, I've got the lava bucket in my inventory. That's what it was. Duh. The two furnaces will then cook the sand into glass, and then from there I'm going to take the glass from the furnaces and place them into the alchemical furnace and turn that into the Victorous. The alembics are going to sit on top of that to capture it. I'm going to put that into warded jars, and then I've got the whole setup here for the actual processing section to come next. This little section here. I've got everything I need for one of those sections here as well. So, without further ado, shall we begin our processing of things? I think I've got everything I need. I've got this lava bucket on me. Let's put the lava bucket in here before I take too much more damage. Yes, I know I'm taking damage. Thank you very much. Alright, I've picked out this area over here as an area that I want to work in. And I'm going to start off by placing where I want these first few things to be. We're going to dig out underneath as well afterwards. So from the front, I want this to be the centerpiece, like so, and have these two guys over here next to it. And I'm going to end up with a hungry chest in front of that. And then I'll tart it up with some more of these tables or something in front of those, because I don't actually need access to these once the system's all fully automated. So the next thing then is to have a little dig down underneath this lot and make something happen down here. I've already got a little setup down here, as you can see, but that's just my way up and down for now. While we're here, the night ore does need to go underneath there. We do need to heat it, but we don't need to put water in it, which is a good thing. And let's just whiz down here quickly, grab all these blocks again, because I'll replace what I don't need where I don't need it. Let's go like this. And then now, and just make a little stairwell at the back here, so I can get back up and out quickly. Okay. And I probably can put that there as well. There we go. Alright. So, we've got that underneath there as well to deal with, so let's take this section out as well. There we go. It wasn't supposed to be this big before. There we go. Alright, so let's have that so I can remove that. Right. First things first, we're going to have glass going into these. Now, the glass needs to go into a side facing of the block. Let me jump up. The one thing I found in testing this was that the charcoal needs to go in the bottom, because it goes in the bottom slot, and the glass needs to go into the sides, so it goes into this slot. And a top, I think the top is probably related to the top slot as well. So that means that we're going to have our furnaces either on display or at least very close to display. So I'm going to start by having the furnaces like this, working backwards down the production frame just for now. Okay, so this furnace we're going to have output top, and we don't know where the input's going to be. No, not top, back. Output back. There we go. And that one again, we're going to have that output back as well. Okay. So that should, in theory, put the glass directly into there. We're also going to need to put the charcoal. We've got a charcoal chest already. Charcoal chest, I could possibly put it underneath, like here. That's going to be always full of charcoal. And if I put a node on it, actually, if I put a node on it like this, that should then grab charcoal, yes, and we can have that going into these guys here. We're going to have it going elsewhere as well, so it's just this is the easiest solution for now. We've also got to get power into these machines, which is another quest as well. I will get round to that soon enough. We're going to have some steam power going into them, and the steam power is probably going to have to be around the backs here. Some pipes coming up the back to just feed into the front. As long as they receive power, I think that's all we need to worry about. Okay, so we've got so far so good. Next thing is to transfer the sand into the furnaces. So we're going to go under here. Yeah, let's take these few out here, just so I can see better. We're going to transfer pulverizers. I'm going to have the pulverizers there, so this needs to accept from the bottom. We'll put the pulverizer in there, and this is going to output on the top. We're going to get an extra thing of gravel every now and again as well, so I'm going to need to find some way of destroying the gravel. And I was thinking about just putting some sort of trash can on the side of it. Trash cans on the side, I think that'll work. Yeah, that way. Over there as well. Put a trash can on it. So that pulverizer can go there, and that can be set to receive from underneath. This can be set to push out through the top, and that one can output the spares into this side over here, and this one can set to output into that side over there. Is there anything under that way? No, we've got it under the block there, so we're okay. We can get rid of that. I'll fill this in properly off camera when I'm not recording. Let's get the basic principle set up. So I've got to put some trash can there to get rid of the excess stock, or even one of the ender chests. This the white ender chest, which is basically the dumping chest. Okay, so we've got those two. Next, we need to put the cobblestone into them. So we're going to have an igneous extruder. Now the igneous extruder, I think we're going to have the igneous extruder at the back here, basically there. And this is going to be making cobblestone, and it's basically going to receive water from below, and it's going to output its cobble to both sides. Okay, output to the sides. That'll keep that nice and tidy, which means the pulverizer needs to accept from this side so that I can connect these two together, and this pulverizer needs to accept from that side so I can attach those two together. Not sure if I've got enough translocators on me right now. Let's have a quick look. I've got 2, so I'll do some more in a bit. I do have transfer nodes, though. Maybe if I put a transfer node underneath it. I don't know if it's going to take up more space than I want, though. And yeah, that's going to be an issue just there, because I'm going to have issues like that. I don't want to do it. Translocator's probably cheaper than a transfer node, but just for now, let's put it like that and like that. Should be quick enough, really, shouldn't it? Should be quick enough. So anything that this produces is going to go whichever direction it can fit. So as the pulverizers work slower than the extruder does, it should be that the extruder can keep up with both the pulverizers. Both the pulverizers can keep up then with the furnaces, and the furnaces can keep the alembics full. They're already full of charcoal, thanks to our little charcoal setup down there. So that's all good. Then we need the aqueous accumulator underneath here. Now, I could, in fact, I may just do that. Change this around slightly so the aqueous accumulator is not involved, because that would involve me building a little infinite water source thing around it. So let's just grab another little tweaky thing that I had over here. The ender tank, which is filled elsewhere. There we go, that'll do. The ender tank is filled elsewhere, so therefore we've got an infinite water source coming at us already. So I could possibly put that down here, underneath, and then set that to output. And this should then receive water. Yes, it's received the water. Okay. Then we can take the lava bucket and take some more damage, but put the lava in there quickly. Now, the lava should start making the cobblestone. The cobblestone should start distributing between the 2 pulverizers. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's fairly evenly produced as well. Look, there's 4 in there now, and there's 4 in there now. So it is fairly evenly produced, which is good as well. Next stage, then. Next stage would be to power these machines, which I'm going to put some sort of power source down the bottom here. So you could use any power source that you've got available. I'm just using these steam dynamos right now, because we've got infinite charcoal and infinite water, and we've got some steam dynamos made. So the charcoal's coming from the charcoal ender chest and going down into the boilers, as well as up into those. And the water's coming straight down and into those as well. All set up and nice. Simples, just the way I like it. Nice and simple, easy to do. The power supply is just being brought up by Buildcraft pipes, and that is now powering all of this, going on loads of power. Sand into glass all day long. This is filling right up, and now it's filling with glass as well, backlogged up. Same here, this one's backlogged up, so we've got loads of Vitus Essentia built up. The next thing, the next stage, let's just block this gap off here for now. I will tidy my floor up a lot better afterwards, tidy it all up around here, but that's do for now. The next bit is to use these arcane alembics. Yeah, I had to make a water node. These alembics, one goes on there like that, and one goes on there like that. There we go. They connect up, and now they will start storing the essence that we're going to be using. Awesomely enough, yes. This maybe come out, yes. I've got no game sounds at the minute because we've got sound mufflers up there to stop the villager noises all the time. So I'm not getting sounds over there, I think. No, I'm not getting sounds over here either. I get sounds over this side? Pretty sure I get sounds. Yeah, I am getting sounds. It's just you can't hear it because I put the sound mufflers up there. So this is all going to be totally silent as well. All the machines and everything, you can't hear them running and everything like that. It's all fairly well hidden as well, I believe. It's not bad as hidden goes, because these tables are going to be in front as well. So that's good. Right, anyway. Next up, we need to put the alchemical constructs on top of the crucible. Now, we put the heat source underneath the crucible, but it doesn't require water. If it did require water, we've got a water source anyway, but it doesn't require water, so I don't need to worry about that stage. And these guys just stack on top of each other like that. And I think I hit it with a 1, so we're in the Great Wood era, so I will Great Wood era it a pop. There we go. And that section is now done. This should only have 1 recipe available to it. Let's see if we can pump the Essentia straight into it. There we can. I think that worked. Yeah, it's still technically in there, but it's attached, so should be okay. Should be okay. Now let's go and check that by... let's take this out. Pop. Let's go and check that by grabbing some of these crystals from down here. Let's take some of the amber. Let's take some amber dust. Okay, we'll start off with amber. I should get them all, really, because I'm going to be getting them all in a minute. Let's get around here. Okay, so now if I put some amber in there, it'll come up with the recipe available. I will click that, and it will start processing. Yes, and it is taking the Essentia from either side and popping it in here. Awesome. I could also add in a jar there, and that jar will also fill up, so that I could have another jar there as well, and they could fill up as like an extra backlog. So this will always have tons, and it'll just keep spitting them out. Look at that. Look how fast that's going. That's awesome. So processing power is very, very high. It's using up all of the resources here very quickly, so having reserves is good as well. It works as fast as the Essentia that we've got, I think, by the looks of it. Okay, but that's just 1 recipe. That's only 1 recipe available. The other little thing that I wanted to set up was giving it more recipes. And to do that, thank you. To do that, we use these mnemonic matrices. And we pop these on the sides, connecting to it like this. And I could possibly put one at the back as well. I'm using 3 because each one adds 2 recipes. So now we've got 1 of 5. So there's 5 recipes. We need 7 recipes altogether, so here's another 2. Just wondering, do I put it on the top or the back? I think I'm going to put it on the top. I think I'm going to put it on the top because I want the back to house the ender chest that's going to be giving us the goodies and putting them into there. Yep, so we've now got 1 of 7. And there are 7 types of recipe. Okay? Awesome. So let's put this... let's put it on the back. I could put it on top of this, actually, and then beam it up into it, I think. Yeah, we'll do that. And do I have 2 more translocators? Yes, I do. Okay, so translocate into there like that. Now, this is the full thing that we've got at the minute. Far too much stuff. Let's take all the redstone out. I'll just chuck it all on the floor, why don't I? Let's take all the redstone out, just for now. Let's go down and grab 1 of each dust, or at least these types of dust. So we've got the amber, we've got the air, we've got the ignis, we've got aqua, we've got terra, we've got ordo, and we should also have the other one, the Pedicio one, which is entropy shards, I believe. So that's the 7th of them all, I think. Yeah. And these should also just literally drop into here like this. So if that goes in, right, it's now got little arrows, so I can go down and say auto shards. Let me take that inventory off. So now we've got amber shards is ringed to say yes, process amber. And this is now, if I put a ring around it, it will also process into order shards. So that'll process both ways, right? We just need to set this item filter at the back here now. I've got a load of zombies outside trying to get in. Oh, he's stuck in a little gap there between the wall and the outside world. Noisy gits. Oh, it's a shame that noise break doesn't stop that as well, isn't it? Okay, anyway, we've got to filter into... I think we can filter into here. We're going to have the amber dust. We're going to have the air. We're going to have ignis. Terra. Aqua. Ordo. And when it comes down to it, entropy as well. Okay, so we'll have seven things that come out of this powder chest. Okay, and that's actually already got some amber dust in it. Okay, cool. So when I click this, the amber dust should go straight in there. Yep, and it should start doing the processing straight away on that recipe. Awesomes. Okay, but before we do that, let's just finish that one off. Is that one? Just finish that off. Thank you. Okay, so we've got 2 recipes in there at the minute, order and amber. Let's put a terra recipe in there as well. That should now give us a 3rd earth shard. Look, it's not ringed at the minute, whereas the other ones are ringed. So we tell it, yes, you can process earth shards. Aqua shards, we can tell it, yes, we want water shards as well. Okay, ignis, we can do that. And tell it, where's that one? There we go. Fire shards, yes, we want that. And air, could throw that in there and tell it, yes, we want air shards as well. Last one is entropy. Okay, so now if I put these guys into here, let's put these ones in first. Let's put all of that stuff in there like that. It'll start taking them out by the translocator filtering from the chest. So every time the chest gets something in it that it can process, it will take it out and filter it. Oh, them noisy zombies, man. Them noisy zombies. Around here. Now we should see that this should just carry on working. It'll keep taking all of the essentia and just literally keep spitting them out for days and days. So, apart from adding another jar, which I think I'm going to do right now, actually. I think I've got a spare jar. Is that a spare jar? Yeah, that's a spare jar. I'm going to add a spare jar in so that we can finish off this little section. I can make another jar for over there. This little section there. There we go. So this can now just continuously process. And as all the ores come in from our processing plant, this will process all of the Thaumcraft ores. I really like how this is changing as it goes to like show you what recipes you've got in it. It's pretty awesome. And that is my automation setup. And you can hardly see any of the technology behind it. It's all magic, baby. All magic at the front there. Which is pretty cool. And this, of course, right, this chest now has got all of this cool stuff in that we're collecting and it's processing. Underneath it, I've got space to put some sort of item transfer, to transfer items into another location. I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got space to put some barrels around, haven't I? I can put some barrels down if I want to. Yes, and just to finish it off, and to finish this episode off, I'm going to just put these there in front of it to give it that same sort of barrier feel that I've got going on down the front here. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to spin around here and show myself in my magey glory. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Utopia Cubed. Hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next one.